my family, when buying from overseas, bought a new development in New York City. And the broker promised all sorts of things. And at the closing table, they sent me as a 20-year-old to a closing, which lasted 6 hours. And ultimately, my parents had to get a secondary mortgage at 14% interest rate. And the broker just walks in with their fur coat and just picks up a six-figure check and walks right out. And I was just shocked at how this could have even happened. But I said to myself, one day I would become an agent to protect families like mine to never go through what they went through. And that's culminated to where Undivided is today.
Hey everybody, it's Kathy Byrnes here with Real Estate Riches, and today my guest is Micky Lalchandani, and I'm excited to have you here, buddy.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Kathy. I really appreciate it.
Yes. So there's a lot of things that I did a little research on you that I found very intriguing. And so tell us a little bit about your company, like what makes you guys special.
Sure. So we are Undivided. We are a New York-based bespoke real estate group. We are not high volume. We are high quality operation. So we only do a number of deals a year, but because our clients are high net worth individuals, we work in a bespoke way. Depending on the client's needs, we give them exactly what they want in the way that they want it.
And that's the definition of bespoke, right? That you were telling me?
Correct. That's exactly what it is.
I've been hearing it a lot, and I'm like, what does it mean? So that was helpful.
Great, great.
All right. So, and you mentioned that you've got support staff. So break down how that all works at your place.
Yep. So we're a team of four. So I'm the lead agent. We have another junior agent, and we have two support staff. One does operations, and the other does marketing. And they all facilitate and support me so that I am able to provide a high quality, high touch experience for our clients.
That's great. And you said you're basically working with your higher net worth individuals, right?
Yeah, so because we're based in New York City, the price points are completely different from what you would see in most of America. And so the client's needs are also at a different caliber.
Mhm.
And so we provide a much more unique one-on-one personal high touch experience.
So are you doing rentals as well as purchases?
My primary focus is on clients looking to purchase assets in the city. They may come from across the country and internationally as well. I
Mm,
have an international background, and they want a trophy home. They
mm,
want a Fifth Avenue address. They
mm.
want a Soho address. And so we help to facilitate them to get them to their goals. But sometimes these buyers will not actually live here and
Mm.
want to then just rent out their homes. In
Ah,
that case, we will work to rent out their homes and manage it for them. So we do provide property management services specifically to just our clientele,
yeah.
and they must be assets that are condos only.
Oh,
So our offering are very specific and very niche.
yeah, that makes sense. So I know you mentioned you have an international background. How are you finding these clients or how are they finding you?
Very good question. I mean, I've been in the business for so long now, so I do have a reputation for people wanting my specific kind of services. I also, because I went in high school, I went to an international school in Hong Kong,
Mm.
and so through my network of international exposure, I try to go to Asia once a year also to meet with my clients. And that is a way to continue to build connections and relationships overseas. And everybody, no matter who you talk to, they all love New York City. And so there's always an opportunity for someone wanting to get a slice of the city.
Yeah, and I looked at your website, which is really spectacular, Mickey. I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you.
So your
Thank you.
marketing people are doing a great job. Um, that's good because a lot of companies, like I'm with EXP, we have international opportunities, and I was thinking, how are you doing that without having those connections? But that makes sense. And
We do, yes. I give you an example. My I did a deal where I represented the seller on a $10.9 million condominium in Flatiron District in Manhattan. And his original broker was not able to get the job done. So my contact from Korea reached out to me saying that they have this high net worth client in Hong Kong that can offload the asset. And I worked alongside the original broker, but I got the deal to the closing table.
Mm.
But that is through my connections overseas.
Wow. Well, that was many pluses in that whole story because you empowered the existing agent, right?
Correct. Yes.
And so you probably got a split of some sort, right?
Yes. Yes. Of course. I'm not.
Yes.
We're not doing this as a pro bono.
Yes. But I loved because not all agents will work well with other agents, and that says a lot about your character and your reputation, Mickey, that people are willing to do that and not put up a wall like, don't bring that guy.
Yes. So our firm is called Undivided, and the name itself shows where we came from and who our thesis is of our brand. I
Mm-hmm.
myself got into the business because my family, when buying from overseas, bought a new development in New York City, and the broker promised all sorts of things. The developer did, and at the closing table, because my parents were overseas, I was living in Boston at the time. They sent me as a 20-year-old to a closing, which lasted 6 hours,
Ooh.
and ultimately my parents had to get a secondary mortgage at 14% interest rate, and the broker just walks in with their fur coat and just picks up a six-figure check and walks right out. And I was just shocked at how this could have even happened. But I said to myself, one day I would become an agent to
Mm.
protect families like mine to never go through what they went through. And
Yeah.
that's culminated to where Undivided is today.
I love that story. Oh, and that's not a unique story, unfortunately. And that's why a lot of us have gotten a bad reputation out here. And working with quality agents, man, that's so important. It reminds me of how you'll see these Facebook groups where people will say, I'm over here and like I'm in Charlotte. Like I'm in Charlotte, I'll be your referral agent. No, I want to know who you are before I'm going to put my name tied to you with one of my clients, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I more often than not will tell a client not to move forward with an asset. And I'm always thinking about the exit.
I
So
so
right? So when especially in New York, where spending millions and millions of dollars on a property,
Mhm.
most likely the most expensive purchase you've ever made, and you are excited emotionally, but many of the properties don't actually do well from appreciation standpoint.
Mm.
Even if you buy new construction, it actually does not uh it does not do well over maybe even 20 years down the road.
Wow.
And there are many reasons to it, but most people just think just buying in Manhattan or buying a trophy property is going to do well. It's not the case. There's many,
Interesting.
many underlying reasons why assets don't do well. And so for me and our brand's thesis is I rather do what's in my client's best interest than
Hmm.
what's in the best interest of the deal and just try to focus on the commission part.
Well, that's why you get repeat business, I'm sure. Because,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, the trust is more important to me than just getting a paycheck. That is not the reason I'm doing this.
right. I love that.
I'm sure you agree, right?
Yes, well, integrity is everything to me. And if when I saw that on your website, I think I read it was you look at the end first, and I thought, boy, so do I. I tell my clients, you got to imagine if you had to sell it tomorrow, what are you going to do? Because things like that happen. And
Absolutely.
I had a client once, and it was a realtor who was bringing her 82-year-old mother around looking at condos because the mom wanted to live near her daughter, who was the local. No, the daughter didn't even live here. She wanted to live by another daughter. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so we're looking at two-story homes where the primary is on the second floor, and she's got to walk up these stairs, and there's power lines like crazy within 20 feet of the back door. And I'm like, I really don't think this is a wise solution. What about your mom going up and down those stairs? She goes, she needs the exercise. I go, not feeling good about this. And those power lines are going to be a bad resale for us here. Well, the daughter was a realtor, remember? Insisted that her mom buy that. Now, it wasn't 6 months later, she falls on down those stairs. Now, fortunately, it was a tiered thing and she fell the second half. And fortunately, it was a condo because she could bang on the wall. She had to crawl to bang on the wall where the neighbor came over. And now we got to sell right away. And I'm like, to the daughter, I wanted to say to the daughter, oh, I'd like to pop you one that you put your mother through that. And they lost money. I feel like we lost money. And because the power lines were a disaster and it had to be a quick sale of when they just bought it. So I loved your statement on that right off the bat. I pay attention to that too. Integrity is it.
Yeah, and unfortunately your clients don't always listen, but you give them the advice, you empower them, and ultimately you want them to make the decision, and then you just facilitate to get them to the closing table, right? So you gave her all the advice, and ultimately it's her decision.
Yep. Yep. That's the challenging part. Okay, so talk to me about how you use an AI buddy because I feel like you're kind of unique. Very exciting.
Yes, AI. So I'm a little bit of a tech nerd. I, some people have sports as their hobbies. Some people have like golfing. I'm just a tech nerd, so I love to just experiment and play with all kinds of latest gadgets. If you ever come to my house, it's fully connected. The entire thing, it's like insane. So with AI, I try to play with everything as soon as I hear about it. So I've played
Hmm.
with Clawbot, I've played with Claude. I try to put things in automation. So let's give an example. As a realtor, we have to also be a media company, right? We have to create a lot of assets. We have to constantly be posting. And so I have basically trained my AI to weekly spit out content strategically for different channels and looking at my competitors and what is actually performing well and taking those concepts and ideas and then being able to tweak it for my specific audience. And it does it all automatically, so I don't actually have to sit there and come up with a concept every single time. Now it's creating the script, it's creating the LinkedIn post, the newsletter, the email newsletter, the social media asset, all with just one click. And so it saved us a lot of time. But we are also creating video content with AI. We're creating images with AI. So now even all of our posts, we don't even use real photos anymore. It's
Hmm.
all AI generated because it's so much faster
Yes,
and
fast.
it looks really good. Like when you try to go out and get a photographer, you got to pick the right date. Is the sun shining well? Then you got to wait for it to be developed. Then you got to take it and then you got to send it to the marketing department to post it and what we're going to post. Now I can just spend 2 minutes and the whole thing is already generated, and it looks good every single time. And then we can take an image and make a video out of the image. So it's like it just, now I can do property tours with just images and it makes it into videos and I have the whole tour done. So we really try to play around with it a lot. But my real challenge, I'm still trying to master, is having a real AI agent that is crawling through my emails, uh, is looking to my calendars, finding those dead leads, automatically reaching out, starting the conversations as myself, and then setting up those appointments all automatically without me being involved. And it's running 24/7. And that's really the where I see the future um, of of this kind of AI technology. I'm already doing a little bit of it. So I use some AI. I have an AI assistant that will basically send me a text every day about all of my to-dos. Um, if there's any press opportunities to write to, it'll flag those. It tells me the top trends that are happening for the day and reminds me who do I need to speak to that I've forgotten or may have, not responded to in a couple of days, and everything all in one summary. And then now it's trained when I have an appointment, like let's say I have an appointment at 3 o'clock today, and it takes me 20 minutes to get there, but I need to find parking. And then it knows, and then it'll also know if there's any traffic on the way. So it'll notify me before that when I should start leaving the home to go to my appointment. So I've trained it in that way that it'll just know automatically now.
Now, what tool did you use for that, you rascal? Because I love this.
So yeah, so the app is called Poke.ai, Poke.ai, and it's a personal assistant. And you can train it however you want. And you can even do another thing is, when you get an inquiry online for a listing,
Yeah.
you can tell Poke whenever an inquiry comes from Zillow, just do an autoresponder saying thank you, read the email, see what the property address is, talk about it a little bit, and then have a call to action, and just do it automatically. So it feels like it's coming genuinely from the sender.
Sure, sure. I love this. Love this. Oh man, I've never heard of Poke AI. And I'm a junkie too. I've been doing it for 3 years. And in the beginning, I felt like I was so far ahead of everybody else. But now I feel like I'm right here and loving it
It's
all.
changing so fast every day.
Now, just think of how you are compared to the average agent who isn't doing anything like we just said. Maybe they're doing some email changes up and they're doing their property descriptions. This is what I'm talking about, agents out there. If you're not jumping into this, which I know it's a pain in the sense that how do you do all of it all? You're going to either spend the money or you're going to dive in and start learning it because this is going to be the difference of who stays in the business and who doesn't.
Let me give you a good example. So on our website, you'll see on the top something called value index. We have what's called the undivided value index. What happens in New York, which I told you in the beginning, is that not all buildings perform well, and there are a number of reasons why. So we've created a proprietary system that breaks down 8 different criteria: walkability, appreciation opportunity, um, uh, things in the neighborhood, amenities, financial health of the building. And we've created a score that will score every building, every luxury building in the city. And we use AI to help us be able to ramp that up and do it across the city. But now we're taking that model, and now right now there's a big trend about private clients. Banks are having private client access. We're creating a private intelligence report just for that specific building that we're sending to homeowners that gives them deep analysis about which line is performing well, what units are coming or on the market, why didn't it sell, and you can only get that proprietary information through this private market and intelligence report. But we're using AI for all of it so that we can create this. And imagine you can scale it, not just one building, you can do it for 10 buildings with just one click. And so we're creating all these proprietary charts and a knowledge base that you can't get in the marketplace.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
your report will stand out to another agent that just sends a postcard saying, "Hey, are you thinking about selling?" Right?
Yes.
We're providing value.
Yes.
And so we're using AI to help us do all of these things for such a small team that we are.
Yeah, I love this. I love this. That was really powerful. I got to tell you, that does set you apart so much from everybody else. Yeah.
And you have to and you can use AI to figure out what sets you apart, right? You can do those deep dives with AI to do research about your competitors and
Hmm.
find out where is that gap in the marketplace and how does it fit into what you enjoy and who you are as a person. And they'll help create that entire identity for you.
I love that. Now, you use a lot of different tools. For me, I'd probably go on Claude and do that, or Manus maybe, and basically just ask the questions and because that's what you want to do. Like, how can I set myself apart? You ask the questions and then say, ask me the questions I need to give you, right? You, Claude or Manus, so that you get to know who I am, and then it would probably go even search the websites of who your competition is, right?
You have to get a lay of the land. You need to know what your
Yes.
competitors are doing so that you, one, don't do the same thing, but you
Yes.
also know what they're doing well and how can you improve on it.
Yes.
But another thing I'd like to train my AI on is don't sweet talk me.
Yes.
Don't tell me nice things. Just be honest and straightforward.
Boy, isn't that, and that's every platform.
Every
Chat
platform.
ChatGPT, I think, is the worst, but I've been noticing it a lot with Claude lately. Don't sugarcoat stuff. Don't try and
Hmm.
please me. Give me the facts, buddy.
Yes, and I try to train the AI to always uh validate the facts. So where is it coming from?
Sources.
Provide me with the data points and then provide the sources so I know exactly. And then it also helps it to not hallucinate.
Yes, that is so true because in the beginning I didn't realize that it was just sweet talking me and I didn't realize that it would just make up stuff. And so I'm trusting it, but I could see, I know you're wrong on that, or I don't need to be sugar coated, but that is so true. And you can train it. Are you using that where you were having your things done where it was like all these different tasks that you'd assign? Is that a specific task that you're
Claude,
setting?
Claude, Claude Cowork is what I use.
Co-work, yeah.
And then I schedule those tasks. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's really
great.
good. And then I haven't used Claude Design yet, but I hear it's very good. And we'll start using, because right now we're using Gemini for all of our assets, but I
Mhm.
hear that Claude Design is very good. So we'll start looking to using for designing on there.
Yeah. I haven't even dipped my toe into that because I'm working on so many other projects, but I love ChatGPT's image in the left-hand column versus the bottom one. That image over there creates beautiful images for me and size proportion that I want them in. And
Yes.
I was struggling with that with Gemini, but and it's fast. I want them fast too. Don't. That's what's happened. You're getting so spoiled with the speed of how things happen. You know.
So here's another thing now. So we have a pretty active YouTube channel. We have like 40,000 subscribers. And but creating videos, as you know, is time consuming. It's not just creating it, you got to come up with the concept, the script, shooting day, editing, approval, going back and revisions. I have been thinking about cloning myself with AI and have AI write the script, we review, approve it, send it through my clone, and then it just shoots it generates the entire video, but I don't have to go into editing. And I can create a content piece within maybe let's say 15 minutes
Yeah.
instead of 2 days.
I was doing that yesterday, and I've done a clone of myself repeatedly, and I'm getting better. I'm using Higgsfield to create the base, and then I'm using HeyGen to create my sound, and
Yeah.
then turn it into a talking video, which has been interesting. But I keep going round and round. It's not to the level of where I want it to be. I find it a little too AI stiff and and yet I see some that are smooth as silk. So I'm gonna get there.
There's two other apps I want to try out. One is Google, um, I think it's called vid.me, and where you can also add yourself as a clone, and it'll create videos that are not static. You know, the Hey Gen stuff is pretty static where you are, but you can put you in any scene. And so imagine you can take a photo of the unit of the home and yourself, and you can put it together and make you walking the home.
Oh,
Yes, isn't that powerful?
yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
and then the other one is called, I think it's called Speed Dance 2.0. It's a Chinese AI, but their video quality is so advanced. You may have seen the video where Tom Cruise is fighting um with another famous actor, and they're brawling on a rooftop, and the background is a helicopter going and things are exploding, and it looks like they're actually there. And this is the video generator that they use, and the quality and like the skin and the movements of the hands, it's just so realistic. It's
Yeah.
pretty amazing. So that's another one I want to try out.
Well, that's what I want to do because I just feel like if we can really clone ourselves, then people don't care. You're giving me the content that I'm looking for,
Exactly.
and you're doing it where I don't look like a robot talking. That is important to me. And I know they're out there because I can see the samples that are being done in the ads that I'm watching.
Hmm.
So I pay an AI coach to teach me an awful lot of stuff, and I love having her because I can't keep up with it all, and so they give you assignments to go do all these different things, and it's good. It's good. And I think,
And is that how you stay up to date with with all the trends that are changing so fast?
yeah, she stays on it, and then I'm just, I can play with it. My daughter's also working on a project for realtors that'll evolve into individual businesses, but it's going to have, I think it's 6 AI agents, and because a lot of agents, like they're never going to even figure this out. So there's a whole market for that business, and so I'm the guinea pig, and so she has these one's the social media, one is the email, one is the content, one's going through your CRMs and getting that all organized, responding, and one's your calendar and your email stuff like that. So and she's been working on it like crazy. So I'm really hoping when that's done, that we'll be able to market that to other agents who are never going to get to this level even that I'm at, and you're way ahead of me.
So one thing I recommend for her, and she may have already done it, have a chief of staff AI agent above those agents
That's what she did.
because oh she did. Okay,
She
great.
did,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's amazing.
I'm glad you
That's
said
amazing.
that. Yeah, it oversees the whole working environment. Well, and interestingly enough, about a year and a half ago, I was with the coach and we were in Barcelona, and she gets off the stage and she goes, "I just created a GPT that's a board of directors." I said, "Get out of here." So I just learned how to do a GPT. I said, "Well, I'm going to create my own board of directors." So I do that, and I'm with EXP, and Glenn Stanford, that's the founder. So I wanted him. I'm a Christian gal, so I wanted Jesus. I wanted all these different people because I wanted balance as far as my,
One of your advisors is Jesus?
yes.
Wow. How awesome is that?
I said,
Wow.
well, I don't want to mess up with him. So,
Wow.
and I wanted fun, so I picked Richard Branson, but he pops up in my marketing all the time. And I'm thinking, why didn't I think of him for marketing? Of course, he's a marketing guru. So there was 11 different board of directors, and one day I walked in and I said, "Listen, I got 6 things I just got to get done, and I don't know where to start. What's going to make me the money? What's the best deal?" And they go, "Okay, this is a job for Steve Jobs." And I go, "Okay." So he said, "Give me those 5 that you got to do and prioritize them of which one would be the most important." And I go through and all that. And he goes, "Okay, there we go. We've settled that. We're going to dive in." It was a LinkedIn newsletter. And I said, "Okay, well, I have no idea how to really make this powerful because your very first newsletter on LinkedIn goes to everybody that you're connected with." And I have over 12,000 people at that time. Now I'm 13. And I said, "Okay, well, here's my goals with my business. What should my newsletter be focused on?" And so we go back and forth for 2 days between stuff that I'm doing. We figure it all out. I launch it. I had 300 subscribers in the first hour. I was like over the moon. And I felt at ease, not stressed that whole week because we had figured out what were the tasks of priorities to get done. And a couple got bumped to the next week. They weren't as big as I was making them out to be in my own head. So creating a ChatGPT board of directors was cool, and it's really not that difficult.
So my question to you is AI has so much ability. Sometimes I feel um uh exhausted by it all.
Oh,
There's just so much information that you have to consume it, right? The problem is AI does you have to prompt it and it gives you a response and then you have to act on it. The goal is where you have AI just do it for you, where you're not even involved. You just tell it and it just operates it completely and anonymously. And that is the goal.
that is the
And
goal.
that's where I'm trying to get to. Because the truth is that you can be as efficient as possible, but you're still involved in everything. You have to have your feet in every single thing.
Yes, you do. And that's why I love the AI agent concept. And what I realized probably about a couple months ago was I've just been consuming, learning. And I wasn't making any money. I wasn't being more efficient. If anything, I felt more inefficient, because all I was doing was learning. And then I realized, okay, we have to prioritize how these tasks are working. I've really gotten great at LinkedIn articles because of Claude, and I've got my skills working. I love that. But that's another story. But this has been important, agents, about how you need to understand how AI is going to work into your business and the marketing piece of it. Having a niche like Mickey's done here. Mine is waterfront. I'm a waterfront specialist here locally. I very much focused in. We have the same integrity. We have the same mission. I don't want them just buying a property just because they fell in love. I'm the critical eye and analyzing. And so you and I are a lot alike. We should know each other better.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And the fact that you told me you've been using AI for 3 years, you are an outlier.
I know. And guess what? I'll be 76 in just a few months. I'm a rare bird.
Wow. That's amazing.
I
That's
know.
amazing. And I'm so happy to hear that you're getting success from it.
Yes. Oh, I love it. And I know I don't normally, my daughter keeps saying, why do you keep telling everybody how old you are? I said, because I want to empower them. If I can do it, do it,
Absolutely.
man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That makes such a big difference.
Yes, it does. Well, this has been a pleasure, Mickey. I really
Yes.
appreciated
Yes.
you being
Let's
on
let's
here.
let's definitely stay in touch.
Yes, for sure. All right, everybody, that's a wrap for Real Estate Riches today. I hope you subscribe. I'll have all of Mickey's information here in the description. All you have to do is check it out. And he's your man for New York for sure. And check me out in North Carolina. And I look forward to you on the next one. And again, share it with your friends. Subscribe for sure.